Welcome back to Solo Adventures! My name is Livy and I'm here yet again with another BGG Solitaire PnP game contest review. So today the game we're going to be taking a look at is Hagalaz, a game in which we play as an adorable little mouse sorcerer who uses the powers of runes to battle monsters in an icy cave. So as usual, if you're not interested in watching me play this game, you can feel free to skip to the end to hear my final thoughts. Otherwise, let's venture forth. So when you set up this game, you have to make the encounter deck, and the way that you do that is first you sort all of the enemies by level. There are 3 level 1s, 3 level 2s, 3 level 3s, and so on until level 6. And you randomly draw one of each level and you stack them in order. And so this is our draw pile. If we can defeat all of these monsters and traps, then we will move on to the boss. But I've never gotten that far, so let's keep our fingers crossed. So this will be our first enemy, an icy cavern. After we have our encounters set up, we draw the top 5 cards from our deck. And then we decide which cards we want to banish from the game. These are all pretty good. Definitely need Fire Blast and Magic Bolt. This one is not super great. Yeah, I'll get rid of these 3. Then you shuffle everything all up together again, and now you have your draw pile. I apologize for the noise in the background. My husband and my dog are rather active. So what we do is we draw the top 3 cards from the deck, and we can now play them. So to win this game, we're going to need to cast various spells to defeat our enemies. As you can see here, we're going to need to use this orange rune. So I'm going to use this card to put an orange rune here. I could put it on a green or an orange, but it has to start on a 1. So I'll put that there and then discard. Then I think it's always good to have more runes marked off, so I'll put 1 on the yellow and 1 on the light blue. Oh, I forgot, at the very beginning you have to take a black cube and put it on one of these squares that has a symbol on it. So this means 1 damage, and it's going to do 1 damage to us when it attacks. Okay, so that was the end of my turn. At the beginning of every turn we add another white cube to the track, and we have to cover the ones with the symbols first. So I draw another 3 cards, and I see I have Fire Blast. So I'm going to put this spell card into play, and then I can use this star card to empower this. So I'll play the star card, then I can move this orange rune over. And this will allow me to either move one of the dice clockwise or to change its value to be 1 more. Or I can play it and have more defense, which I think I will do. And then the cavern gains another white cube. So we draw again. This cave doesn't have any hit points, so the only thing that I can do to damage it is to dispel these runes. So really the only useful thing I can do is rotate these around. So I'll move this 1, and then 1. I guess I'll just discard this. So the cave gets another cube, And then we shuffle up the discard pile. All right. So we can put as many dice as we want on any of these squares. So I'm going to play a yellow rune for 1 here, and then rotate this around. And I'm just going to discard because I might not get lucky and be able to put more dice on this orange one. And if we want to succeed, we're going to have to do this. So, and the cave gets another white. Okay. So I'm going to rotate this one here and empower it. And how about we put one on the dark blue? And then the cave gets another cube. And I shuffle the discard. All right. So I am going to use this Empower to put this die here to help boost my defense. It says here to discard a die to gain +1 defense, and that will be useful because the cave is attacking next turn. And this might be useful. And let's play this one. Okay, so it's the cave's turn, and its cubes are full. So then it attacks us for its full damage. So in that case, it's 2. But we have 1 die on this card, so we can avoid 1 damage, so we take only 1 damage. So the cave gets to attack first, and then we get to attack. When these runes are numbered like this, that means I can only play 1 per turn, so I'm going to play 1. And I guess I can do this. And then I have to attack it again. So the cave resets, but this time he has, it has another black cube that has to go over the next symbol. So I will shuffle up again. And I could attack right away, but I would like to charge up my ward here and hopefully negate some damage. So I can put 1 on the blue. And another one on the green. And I guess we'll just increase this because we can't do anything else with it. All right, good, Empower. So I'm going to empower green. And I'll empower that green. Or rather, I would have rotated it first with this one and then empowered it, so it's a 2. I can save this dice for the next encounter. So the cave gets another cube, but I want to strike. But the cave does get to strike first, so it does 2 damage. -1, so just 1 damage. I do my fire damage, so the cave is defeated. And then we remove all the dice except for this one on preservation, because it says at the end of the encounter, place this die back on the space of the rune track. So we still have a 2 on the green rune. Okay, so when we finish an encounter, then we get 2 rewards. So we could either heal 3 points, or we could get a new card. So we could heal a maximum of 6 and get a maximum of 2, but of course not both. I don't really need to heal right now, so let's get a new card. So these are the advanced cards. And what you do is you draw 3 off the top, and now I can pick one. I think it's always good to have cards that put extra dice on the rondel, and this puts 2 dice on it, so that's very good. And then I can put one of these cards on the top and then one of them on the bottom. So put that one on the top and this one on the bottom. We'll draw another 3. I think this Empower is good, so I'll take that. And this one will go on the top, and this one goes on the bottom. So we advance. Oh, this is another trap instead of a proper enemy. Magical Dark. You may cast multiple in any order, so I can cast as many runes in any order as I want every time I attack. So it begins with 1 black cube. And we make sure our deck is nice and shuffled. Okay, so once again we're going to need a lot of fire and then one of these yellow ones. So I'm going to play that. And how about I put this here? And I can't really use this. Let's put one on the yellow. And then use the Empower, even though we have 2 stars, we can only move 1, so we'll move this over here. And then use this to move the basic ward, or use this basic ward card to move this die over, because hopefully Fire Blast is coming soon and we're gonna need it. And there's Fire Blast, perfect. Don't have any stars unfortunately, but we can put 2 1s on the green, so that means they're very close. And then we can advance this 1. Excellent. And then the cave gets another cube, and we draw these 2, and shuffle the discard. Okay. So let's empower the fire rune. And we'll put another one on. And another yellow. Cave gets another cube. At any time, discard a die and pick 1 space on the rune track. All dice on that space gain +1 value. So that would be kind of cool. Need a lot of yellow for it though. Let's empower the fire rune. And advance this 1/1, and we can't really do anything with this. And the cave gets a cube. So I am going to attack, but the cave gets to attack first. Or, pardon me, the magical dark gets to attack first. And it does 2 damage. I will discard these 2. And this 1. So I only need 1 more fire rune. These will clear off again. But it's the beginning of another round, so we put the second black one on. Okay. Have to mark these off, I forgot. Okay. Let's rotate this one over by 1. And put 2 1s here. And put another one here. Darkness gets another cube. Okay, and let's empower the Fire Blast. Double empower. I guess we don't really need both, but let's do it. These aren't really useful to us, so we can discard. So the cave gets to attack first, as usual, and it does 2 damage to us. And then we get to attack, and it is defeated. So, that is good. We're gonna have to start regaining health though, because we're quite injured. So we'll go back up to 7. And let's get a new card. About this. Ooh, 3, that's really nice. Put this one on the top and this one on the bottom. And let's see what's next. A wild spirit. So we need to attack this before we can do damage to it. So this is basically a trap that we have to do. Oh, I forgot we have to shuffle everything back together. I'm not actually sure if you have to do this before you damage the health, but I do know you have to do them both. Okay. So we'll put one there. I could play the Empower spell, but I think it's too useful. I don't want to play it out on my tableau because I'd much rather be able to draw it later. So, do that. And as usual, we have to, of course, start with this black cube, and I can decide if I want him to have attack or defense first, but it won't really matter because they're really gonna both get filled. I would really like that light blue rune. Oh, right, yes, okay, I can rotate, so I'll spend that, and this goes like this. We need to start thinking about attack. So let's put this one here for the Fire Blast, and we can't really use this. Good, Fire Blast. And let's empower it. let's put one on the dark blue. Magic Bolt is good, it also does damage. And he has 5 health, so that's a lot. And we'll get another orange. Oops. And let's play this ward. So we'll empower. Actually, wait, no, I forgot. This one is a little bit special. So I'm going to change this one to a 2. And then I'm going to empower, because the attack value is the highest number on the die that's showing here. So it's better to do 2 damage rather than 1. And let's empower that and this. Put that one on the blue. And put this one back here. And let's empower this card. And we have one more turn before the Wild Spirit attacks us. We'll play... I'm out of dice, so I guess I can't play any more dice. But it says at any time discard a die to gain 1 defense, so I will discard this and get 1 defense. So now I have 1 more to work with. And I'll put it here. And that's all I can do. So the Wild Spirit will attack me. It does 1 damage and it has 1 defense, so I'm going to have to break through its defense before I can actually start damaging it. And it breaks through my defense. Oh, so we reset. Oh, I forgot, I get to attack first. So I will play this one first, and I don't get to resolve the spell effects, but I just basically disable that. And then this does +2 and +2, so he has 1 defense. So that means that I did 3 damage, so he's down to 2 health. And I have to discard the dice then. Okay, so we already reset him. All right, let's empower. And empower again. And get another light blue. I should have done that, sorry. There we go. Let's get an orange. And a yellow. And we don't have any more dice, so I can't get another green. Okay, so let's empower. So let's do this and this. Oops, that was 1. And put this one here. And I forgot I should have rotated this. Okay. So we can put a 3 here, but we have die there already. Let's empower. That's that. We'll empower this and this. And we can discard these two to get 2 defense. So let's increase this. Wild Spirit will attack us. Does 1 damage and gains 1 armor. So it has 3 armor now. And does 1 damage against us, but we have 1 armor. Now I get to attack. So this does 2, 4, 6, 8. So this guy is toast. And now we get our rewards. So I think you can understand the way that this game works now. You just keep going. And the monsters keep getting harder and harder until you reach the final boss. And with this one, you have to play rune combinations in a specific order in order to basically disable the magic of the temple elemental. So in any case, what are my thoughts on this game? Let's talk about it. So as usual, I am going to start talking about this game by discussing the build. So the build for this game is really nothing too difficult. There's a few cards, not really too many. There's a few jumbo cards, but in general, the assembly for this game should be pretty easy and shouldn't be too challenging for anyone. I think this game looks pretty nice on the table. It's colorful and it's got cool little creatures. I like the colors on the rune wheel, and I think the backs of the cards look really nice. I do wish, however, that the card backs had a little bit more bleed space, because there are places where the cards don't exactly match up on all the sides when you print duplex, and I had to kind of hide some of the white borders by coloring in with Sharpies. But I really appreciate when extra thought goes into making the files really friendly for duplex printing. So what did I like about this game? Well, first off, the theme is really cute and I like it. I enjoy the idea of being a mouse mage quite a lot. I mean, who doesn't like furry little woodland creatures that can use magic? It's really just fun, maybe nothing too earth-shattering from a theme standpoint, but classics are classics for a reason. I think maybe the strongest points of this game is its spell system. I really appreciate how you can make different spells by combining different runes. I like how you can manipulate the dice around to make combinations that result in spells that you can use either against your enemy or to buff yourself. Weaving together the different elements and having this little colorful rondelle of swirling energy is really lovely and really thematic, and I haven't seen a system like this done before, and so I just appreciate that it's something new. I think it's also kind of cool that the longer that you spend preparing to attack, the more time that your enemy has to basically power themselves up. One thing that I wasn't really so hot on was the fact that most of the monsters seem to only have a couple of squares that have icons on them. So that means that after the first couple of rounds, there really isn't any benefit to rushing into battle, because the monsters will not get any stronger with time putting more of the white cubes on the squares. I mean, you still don't want to take too long, because eventually the monster's whole grid is going to be filled with black cubes, and that's going to be extremely hard to deal with when they're attacking every round. But until then, I think it would have been nice to feel a little bit more tension and to make the decision whether to attack this round or to wait until the next round. I think that this game is really difficult, and I think it will really require a decent strategy to get any amount of distance into this game. I can't say I have a real strategy at this point, but it's probably something that will happen in time. But until then, I'm just struggling along in the lower levels. While I like the overall magic system, I do find that it can be a little bit frustrating at times, not having the right cards come up that you really need. Early in the game, the only attack card that you have is Fire Blast, and so you're always holding out for the orange runes, and they're not always going to be coming there. You also need the little star cards to empower your spells, and sometimes you're just really not lucky. I think that the spellcasting system of this game is just maybe a little bit too unpredictable, and could really benefit from some rebalancing in that perspective. Perhaps if there were more cards in this game, and if you could have a larger hand every turn, that would help. I understand that right now it's a prototype, and more cards definitely equals more work for the designer, but maybe it's something to take into consideration for the future. So all in all, would I recommend this game? I think I would to the right person. If you not only like dungeon crawlers and you like that whole feeling, but if you also really like the idea of this kind of new, strange, experimental spellcasting system, I think this might be worth a look just because it's something that's different. I think that some players might be really frustrated by the amount of luck that does go into this, and I do believe that this game is high strategy, but still with the elements of luck, even if you do everything right, there's still times that you're still just gonna lose and there's nothing you can do about it. I enjoyed my time with Hagalaz. I thought it was a fun little puzzle. I really like rolling dice and moving them from card to card and rotating them around in the rondelle. As the game is right now, I feel like it needs a little bit more balance and a bit more polish to be something that I would really come back to often, but I did enjoy the time that I've spent with it so far. Thank you so much for watching! If you haven't already, then please subscribe, and if you'd like to help support the channel, you can check out my Patreon. You can also check out the Facebook group for all things solo gaming. So until next time, stay adventurous.